So now the National Dialogue Committee today began receiving oral submissions from various organizations and institutions. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, that is IEBC, and the Central Organization of Trade Unions, KOTU, led the way with their presentations to the Kalonzo Musyoka and Kimani Ichung'wah-led committee at the Bomas of Kenya. In his presentation, IEBC CEO Marjan Hussein Marjan opposed the continued calls to carry out an audit of the last general elections, insisting that an audit inevitably delves into the entire framework of dispute resolution arising from the presidential election. Delmasa Kali reports.
Friday, 22nd September 2023, the National Dialogue Committee sittings gathered momentum, with the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission taking the hot seat. The Commission CEO Marjan Hussein vehemently defended the last general election results, strongly opposing the continued calls for an audit on the presidential election, something he says will negate the role of election dispute resolution mechanisms as stipulated by the law. As to whether the presidential election was conducted in a free and fair manner, the Commission Secretary pointed to the Supreme Court verdict on the presidential election as testament to the fact that the Commission complied with all the relevant laws in conducting the 2022 general elections. KOTU Secretary General, who also appeared before the 10-member committee, observed that there are numerous areas where the Kenya Kwanza administration can proactively intervene to mitigate the impact of high cost of living on its citizens, urging the president to order a general wage increase akin to the one ordered in 1972 by late President Jomo Kenyatta. The committee also heard from the multi-sectoral working group on the realization of the not more than two-thirds gender principle led by Principal Secretary in the State Department of Gender and Affirmative Action, Veronica Nduva, and her co-chair, Daisy Amdani, who proposed that the current architecture of Articles 97 and 98 on the composition of the National Assembly and the Senate be maintained as a way of achieving the elusive not more than two-thirds gender principle.
The Senate is maintained by, in the National Assembly, retain the 47 elective seats for women under Article 97, and B, the 12 nominative seats for special interest groups under Article 97. In the Senate, retain the 16 nominative seats for women under Article 98 1B, the 2 one-man, one-woman nominative seats for youth under Article 98, the 2 one-man, one-woman nominative seats for the persons with disabilities under the same article.
The National Gender and Equality Commission, which also submitted its presentations, is pushing for the inclusion of persons with disability in the IEBC and the selection panel for the electoral body commissioners.
Our proposal is to amend the IEBC Act, that's the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Act, to include representation of PWDs, that's persons with disabilities, in both the selection panel and in the commission.
The committee that comprises of Kenya Kwanza's National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, Governor Cecily Mbarire, Senator Aaron Cheruiyot, Hassan Omar, and Catherine Wambirianga, and Azimio's Wiper Leader Kalonzo Musyoka, National Assembly Minority Leader Opiyo Wandayi, Amina Mnyazi, Eugene Wamalwa, and Senator Okongo Omogeni will continue receiving oral presentations next week.
Proposals that we have support the establishment of the Office of the Leader of the Opposition with a shadow cabinet, provided it will come with adequate financial and technical support.
Sakali Dalmas, KTN News.
So now pressure is mounting on President William Ruto to reorganize his